Hi all, good morning. In today's session, we talk about the MySQL keys and in details we talk about the content, what is meant by key, when it's required, all about the key and composite key. Okay, so key is the relation between the single table, like if you have the single table, so that if you want to do certain constraint or that kind of thing, so that is also one key. And if you want to map this relation between two tables, like this is a T1 and this is a T2, you want to map this one row to this table one row, means this is a one to one or one to many mapping. So if you want to define the relation, that's also key will be help us. Okay, so what is mean by single key and composite key? Like in a primary key or in any key, if I suppose say that I have employee table and employee table have ID, name, gender, address, these are the field. Okay, and if I say primary key as ID, that means this is a single key. But if you want to define unique key, okay, unique key is the combination of ID, phone number and email address that is uniquely identified. So if you have more than one column in a key, that is mean by composite key, and if you have only one column in that, means this is a single key. Okay, there are multiple keys. We as we are going deeper, we'll see about the what are keys, and each one have different use cases, so we'll check upon that. Okay, so first key we check about the super key. Super key, that means identify the row in a table. If you have a table which have the 1 million rows, based upon a unique combination, if one row get uniquely identify each and every row, that become the combination of that become a super key. Okay, primary key we know that the uniquely identify every row, that is a primary key. Okay, like in this case, suppose student ID is the primary key because 1 2 3 are the uniqueness. Okay, but in alternative key, roll number and email also uniquely defined as a unique, so you can consider that roll number and email ID as an alternate key. Apart from that, student ID, roll number and email, because email is a primary key, student ID is a primary key and it's uniquely identified. Apart from roll number and email also uniquely identify, so combining of this unique and unique also become a unique, so candidate also become a unique, so that's why it's you can define as a candidate key. Okay, so in a super key also that uniquely identify, in a primary key also uniquely identify, but super key not used to relation mapping like foreign key and primary key. We already discussed in a previous session, you can check out more details. Like foreign key is a reference table or a child table and primary key is a main table. So primary key is used to define this to relation between one table to another table and uniquely identify. Okay, in a candidate key we already discussed that set of attribute is uniquely identified, that student name, student ID, roll number and email address, these combination are unique, so the tuples or combination which are uniquely identified. Alternate key also uniquely identify the every row. Okay, the group of columns are uniquely identified, here also uniquely identify the tuples. So this is the candidate key. Alternate key you can easily get after seeing that example. Foreign key, we have multiple means I created a long session but 10 to 15 minutes, you can check it out what is mean by foreign key and how to map it. But just to simplify the relation between, this is the employee table and this is the address table, and this is we can say department table. Okay, so employee have the relation with the address and employee have the relation with the department. So here whatever ID we are defining uniquely, that is mapped with the address and that is mapped with the department. So the employee ID is a primary key, but this ID become in this table foreign key, and in this table also this become a foreign key. Okay, so this is a primary key and foreign key. Compound key, the two or more attribute uniquely identify, but it is possibly unique itself within a database, means that possibility it's not uniquely in a database. And composite key, this is a guarantee that uniqueness about that. This is the main difference between compound key and composite key. Compound key not uniquely itself within a database, but here we are providing the guarantee about the uniqueness in a composite key. Surrogate key is the artificial key which is uniquely identify each and every record. So most of the key, if you check about everything talk about is a unique key, but some relation between the in a database or in a not database, or it a reference key, or it become a combination of multiple things, that's the difference are there. Okay, mainly primary unique and foreign key interview ask about these keys, so we check the difference what is in between that. So first we check primary key and candidate key, what is the difference. Okay, in a primary key non-null is not allowed and uniquely identify. Candidate key also uniquely identify. Okay, only one primary key table have means primary because it's the refer the different table, means for in a different table foreign key, but candidate key you can define as much you want. Not null is not means null is not allowed in a primary key, but candidate null is allowed. Apart from that, the relationship we already discussed. Primary key define the relation, candidate key don't have that kind of ability. Primary key you can means primary key can be a candidate key, that is a possibility. And defining a primary key, it's not a mandatory. So in a candidate also not mandatory this thing. So the main difference is primary cannot be null. It's defining the relation with the different table, and only one primary key is allowed, and non-null is not allowed. These are the only three main properties. Only one primary key cannot be null, and assigning for the reference relation between the two table. Okay. Primary key versus unique key. Okay, we know that primary and unique key both are the same. Only null parameter and relationship is there, means cannot be stored as a null. Uniquely one null value is allowed. Apart from that, the clustered index are created by on primary key, not on a unique key. Clustered index is the index which is used by InnoDB MySQL storage engine to get faster query result. So that is a clustered index. In index part we check about the cluster index and all. You can check out that session. Okay. More than only one primary key is allowed, but more than one have the unique key. You can define as much as you want, unique combination. Okay, that's the basic difference between primary key and unique key. Then check about the primary key and foreign key. Okay, primary key uniquely identify this. This is a linking between two table. Foreign key means the link between parent table and child table. This cannot be null. But foreign key null is allowed. There is one cascade say where set to null. That's why it's foreign key is a null. You can check out in a foreign key session about the details about the why I'm saying can accept a null value. Only one primary key. Foreign key have the multiple relation. Cannot be duplicate the value. Foreign key may have duplicate values because one to many mapping will be there. So that's why it's allowed. A primary key is a part of a cluster index automatically. The only primary key is allowed for cluster index. If you have check about foreign key, unique key, candidate, no one is allowed in a cluster index. So make sure that that thing. Okay. If you compare with the different any other key, basic difference is that never be a null. Only one primary key, part of a cluster index, and it's the reverse for other things. Okay. Yeah, that's the basic thing for the difference. I will attach the screenshot in a description. You can go and check it out. Yeah, let me know if you want more details about the keys, and if you have want more details on any specific key, let me know. We'll cover in the next session. Yeah, thanks all. Bye.